But one particular individual, Lakshman, had something else in mind. He would not just sit and watch his elder brother and sister in law go alone in the forest. So he decided to accompany them. And despite Ram and Sita asking Lakshman repeatedly not to go with them, he said,
How can I watch you to go into the forest alone and without any help?
They began the journey of hardships and miracles. From the immortal realm to the mortal, every living being witnessed the transformation of Ram, Sita, and Lakshman, from royals to forest dwellers. All the royal family in Ayodhya accompanied the trio to the entrance of the forest. If it were not for the rules of the exile, all of them would have accompanied Ram, Sita, and Lakshman for 14 years. But things had to take their course and everyone had to go their own way. As they entered the forest, the trees swayed, flowers bloomed, and birds chirped as if nature welcomed them. Deer, rabbits, and peacocks were found walking alongside them. Reaching the forest of Panchvati, they set up an abode for themselves. Living in the epicenter of nature, they got used to watching a lot of animals go by them. But a golden deer was not usual. So when a deer with a bright golden glow came into sight, the trio couldn't resist approaching it. But when Sita moved forward to go after the deer, she was stopped by Ram and Lakshman, because what if that was an illusion to harm them? As the deer ran away from them, Sita insisted that Ram go after it. Ram, agreeing to his wife's wishes, left without a single thought. A while later, when Sita and Lakshman heard a cry from the far corners of the forest, Sita couldn't help but wonder,
Was that Ram? Was he in trouble?
She insisted that Lakshman go and look for him. However, Lakshman had promised Ram that he would not leave Sita's side and watch over her until Ram returned. After profusely insisting Lakshman to go and look for Ram, he agreed his sister-in-law's plea. Lakshman drew a line called the Lakshman Rekha around Sita and the hut and said,
Sister-in-law, I am drawing this line to protect you. Please do not cross it until Bhaiya and I return,
said Lakshman. He then went after Ram and the deer. A moment after he was gone, a humble sage appeared.
Mother, listen. Do you have something to eat? I am starving,
said the sage. Upon hearing the voice, Sita looked in his direction. The nurturing instincts of Sita overpowered, and she asked,
What would you like to have? Whatever you can offer, I'll eat,
replied the sage. Nodding in the sage's direction, Sita went inside the hut to find food. Coming out with some fruits as Sita stepped towards the sage, she stopped right before the Lakshman Rekha. Moving any further would mean breaking the Lakshman Rekha. Lost in contemplation, she noticed that the sun started to hide behind the dark clouds, and a surprisingly sunny day swiftly turned cloudy. An air of anticipation swept the land, but the sage's voice called out for her, making her hurry towards him. He insisted that she walk towards him as he was old and frail. The compassionate Sita, within the moment, stepped over the line, and he caught hold of her hands. As the fruits fell on the ground, within the split second, the humble sage transformed into a bejeweled man with power radiating his royal status.
Leave me, who are you? Said Sita,
trying to free her hand.
Sita, I am the king of Lanka, Ravan, and I'm here to take you to Lanka. A beauty with brains such as yourself will be my wife, not anyone else's, roared Ravan. And with that, a golden moving throne appeared before them. Despite Sita protesting every movement, Ravan dragged her and flew into the boundless sky.